I'm just trying to be like a squirrel and go do my shit and
then
go
me-
dig up a nut and bury it somewhere and then go home to my squirrel husband and be like,
What's up?
hey. Hey guys, welcome back to AuraCast. I'm Laura.
AuraCast!
I'm Laura. And this is
Oh.
Alex. And
Hello.
together, we're Aura.
Cast.
And so today we're going to talk about, we're going to kind of go back to the conversational podcast just to kind of keep the flow going. If you'd like to hear anything that we talk about, just comment down below. Or if you'd like to, we're going to see if we can get on guests. So contact us if you'd like us to do like a kind of, what is it called? It's not Zoom.
No, it's just this other program that lets you like record like audio and FaceTime at the same time, basically.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so if you want to get on that, let us know and we'll reach out to some of you too. And let's get into it.
Let's do it.
So,
Do you have anything you want to start with?
I don't know. I've really, the only thing that's like on my mind a lot is this whole quarantine, because it's obviously what's going on in the world right now. But I don't know. It's like this time has really given me reflecting, like inner working kind of moment, like a moment for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And also to spend with like you and your family, and just like, I don't know, it's like a breath from the real world, and like giving you this whole opportunity to create this space for yourself. And like, who are you really when all you have is you and your family?
Right. For me, it's just like made me realize what's actually important in life.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what I do that's actually important and that like I couldn't live without.
Right.
And I'm like finding that because you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
I
it's
do.
like harder to like stay motivated now unless you're like doing what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
So what have you been doing to keep up with who you are during this quarantine?
Just try to keep making things or like pushing myself to learn new things and of course it's just like a lot of like like doing things that make you feel like happy because now it's like what's gonna happen, so like a lot of video games and like still talking with your friends but like just trying to make something or do something or learn something because then it feels like I'm contributing to something, you know, because like we do homework but it just goes somewhere. You know what I mean?
I do think it's also important to find those moments of stillness, though, and like realize that just how much this world is driven by money and overly feeling the need to work and take your mind off of things that are actually important to you as a person. I just think it's like such a nice break from that, and like, I don't know. I don't know where I started to go with that, but
No, I like it because we've been like enoing and stuff too.
Yeah.
We haven't been doing that. We should do that more.
We should do that more.
But like those moments where it's just like, okay, like let's say this coronavirus was like the worst thing ever. Like this is the plague. Like these would be our last moments on Earth. Would be
And what do
doing
you
stuff like
want
this, and I want to
be
like
remembered by, or not even
Right.
remembered by, but what do you just want to know
What do you-
that you were?
And also, what do you want to leave the Earth knowing?
Yeah.
Like I want to leave the Earth knowing more about nature and
Yeah.
and you know what I mean. Like if I had
What
a week, if you had a
knowledge-
week to live,
Yeah.
what would you do in that week? Like you go to the doctor, he says you have 1 week to live.
Do I have like money to go places?
You can
and
do anything,
things?
anything
All
anything
right.
you want, except like
All right.
like break physics. You can't do
But
that.
I could like have money to like
Yeah, you could do
buy a
whatever.
house. Okay. All right. So I'd buy like a little portable home, like a tiny house, but on wheels. And I just go to like the most beautiful places that I've always wanted to go. Like quickly fly myself over to like Oregon or something. or the Redwood Forest. I would go to the Redwood Forest and I would just spend time in there and connect with like the earth and try to like understand as much as I could in that week.
Same. I feel that. Yeah, I would just like visit places that like I don't know. I thought were important too. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
would love to, like, go to, like, Gettysburg one day. I don't know. I just think that would be, like, such a...
Wait, I was like, yeah,
Because... I don't know,
why?
because that was just such, like, a monumental time in, like, human history. Like,
Yeah,
humans killed each other at, like,
yeah.
massive rates. Like, those places... I don't know. I feel like you feel something when you go to those places. But
Do
I'm
you
also, like, a
believe
history
that?
nerd. Like, I know...
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you believe that like places hold energy,
I do. Definitely.
like a house or a?
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Imagine going to like a battlefield.
Yes.
And there's like those people's souls or whatever have left a mark on that place.
It's just like their energies, I feel like too. Like maybe it's not even ghosts. Maybe it's just like
Yeah, like whatever you leave behind.
exactly.
They left it there.
Exactly. So when I leave hypothetically this 1 week, I just want to leave behind as much as I can. Like I don't want to just go and fade into social media or something that's temporary.
Mm-hmm.
I want to fade into knowledge and power and oneness with
Yeah,
everything.
like feeling complete.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for me, how to feel that way, especially like in quarantine, is like taking those moments, even to just be by yourself for like 10 minutes and like go through in your head like what am I doing and what would I like to be doing at this moment, and then just saying it and doing that thing. Stop, it doesn't matter. And then just saying like whatever, like I have time to do it now, let me do that thing that I've been wanting to do, whether it be learn a new instrument or whether it be play a game or whether it be just literally sit and meditate or get into researching about something that I've always been curious about. Like, it's connecting with yourself, I feel like, is what's going to get us all through.
Yeah. We can't just come out as
the same person.
We can't. We
or
have
the
to learn
same
from this.
Society. Like,
we have to learn
it's
something
going
from
to
this.
change.
No matter what you are going to learn.
Right.
Like whether it's about like life or it's like I learned how to do this.
Right.
It's like we all need to come out as better people because this is something that's affecting all of us.
And this is something that does not happen a lot.
And we don't want this to happen a lot. Like we're going through a very tragic moment in history.
Yeah.
I want to.
But also like I feel privileged even saying this, but like I can't help but viewing it as a blessing. Like I can't help but seeing it as like something that's like, it's like, yeah, okay, this is something that is very tragic and like only happens once in a while, but like it only happens every whatever, like since when was the last plague? Like really
like the
like horrible plague.
Influenza thing in 1918 or whatever.
Right. But... And it's like, I don't know where I'm going with this. Like, it is horrible. And I'm not saying that I'm glad that there's a pandemic going on, but I am glad to be given this opportunity to connect. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's also that thing where it's like, there's nothing saying that society had to be the way it was.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. It's just like maybe this virus, like society doesn't have to be what we're making it. It doesn't have to be this very commercial, very like commerce based. Like
the only reason that it's like that is because of money and like
right.
How everyone got so
like
obsessed with that,
right, but like,
and like being an icon. Mm-hmm. In like the, what was it, like the 20s.
Mm-hmm. But like, I don't know.
No, keep going.
I forget where I was going.
I'm sorry. Did I derail you?
Yeah. Trash.
I'm sorry. But there's nothing saying that society had to be that way. You're right. And there's nothing saying that society even has to be anything. Like, I'm all for individuals coming together and just being themselves or like doing what they feel is right without having an overarching commanding force saying you have to do this or you have to do that. Which I guess is kind of like intuitive though, of like just everything. Like even if people rebel, then rebelling becomes a thing. It's like, oh, you're a rebel. Like, everyone has to label something. So society is always labeling things. Even if it's like, I'm going against it. It's like, okay, now you're labeled as the one who goes against it. It's kind of wild.
Yeah. I mean, that's just kind of how things would work anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Like, we have to label things. That's how we know things.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you know, like, who says that's a TV? Because someone just labeled it. Like, you can't not label things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, everything has to someone, everything has a label. Like, if you don't label yourself, someone else is going to label you. This is how the world works. And it's sad.
Yeah, maybe that's not the best way to do it, though. Like, maybe
I don't think there's any other way to do it.
I think there is. Just
like,
letting it be.
We label ourselves in everything.
Yeah, I know.
Like, names.
But that's what society tells you to do.
That's
you
true.
See? Like, that's not I don't know if that's an intuitive thing. I don't know, because I was born into this society. So
that's true.
How do I know if it's something that's embedded in me or if it's just something that was told to me? Ugh.
I don't know.
Wow.
That's like what separates us with like other animals kind of too, is that we have like a very intricate language where I feel like other animals communicate, but they don't have, I mean, I don't know, but that's
I don't know
what
for
it
sure.
seems to be.
But I definitely feel like it's more of like an understanding. They're like, they look at each other and they're
vibe.
like, all right, we're going to go here. I know what you want. You
cool.
hungry, huh? Let's go.
Yeah.
That's interesting, though. I don't know. Humans are just animals, but we're
That's
so
what I'm saying, dude.
freaking
we're
smart.
But how do we don't even know that.
I don't know that we're
like,
smart.
you don't know that you're smart. We're just perceiving what we perceive. So we think, well, like, what if rats are the smartest thing? What if they look at us and they're like, what
they
are
don't
doing?
know. They made money.
It's like we're just vibing. What if that's the goal? You know what I'm saying?
I think it is. I think the goal is just
we're
to
just
vibe.
An animal.
Like, I think the goal is just to give up all of the things that draw us to be greedy and gluttonous and self-absorbed and just vibe.
Just
like,
the vibe.
the key is to just vibe.
It is.
I'm just trying to be like a squirrel and go do my shit and go
dig
dig up a nut and bury it somewhere and then go home to my squirrel husband and be like,
what's up?
hey, good night.
What if they think that's work to them?
They think that's work?
Yeah, they probably have the same like society as us.
What if they're like
what if they're like, man, why did our ancestors have to bury nuts? Like, I don't want to do that.
They're like, why did the squirrel president have to say that we had to get 10 nuts a year?
Right. Like, this sucks. I just want to go home. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't tell me that's not happening.
Exactly.
Because we can only see what we perceive.
Exactly.
There's...
The world is entirely what you perceive, which is why this quarantine is so great, honestly, because you get to hone in your perception and you get to not let it be... it's eye-opening.
It's like a moment...
You get to not let it be swayed by other people.
It's a moment in time where you can't, like, not be aware of, like...
Exactly.
Like a higher power type thing, because you're like, what is happening?
Then why am I here? Then why am I doing this? It's like before we were moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour,
and it's all about
doing
like,
everything.
Tomorrow,
It's like okay,
the homework tomorrow.
I have to do the thing tomorrow, and it's like
make money.
You never even get the opportunity, almost, to stop and think.
You don't. You
it's
really
like,
don't.
Unless you make it for yourself, you don't really get it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, this is just great to be able to stop.
Yeah,
and
it's just
actually
like...
get in tune with yourself. And work on your mental health. Like, that is by far the most important thing to each individual.
For sure. And, like, everyone handles it different, too.
Mm-hmm. And it's different for everyone. Like, what is good for you might not be good for someone else.
Exactly.
Which is wild. We're so intricate. What the heck?
We are. I don't know. It's just been weird. It's been like a weird time. Like, what if it just ends?
Yeah.
I think that's what the thing that's like affected me the most is like, okay, so like, no scientist again, but like, what if it just mutates to, yep, I'm just gonna kill every human and there's nothing you can do to stop it and we all just die. Mm-hmm. So like for me, it's like, okay, what in life, like what is the purpose of my life and why am I here? Mm-hmm. What is any of this about? Why is the world here? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like it's
existential.
Yeah, it's very existential, but I think it's been in a good way.
Yeah.
Like, I think you could have bad existential crises, but I think
Yeah.
this one has been, for the most part, like, as much as we can make of it, like, a good one for me.
It's just about how you perceive it, really.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is.
You just gotta stay positive.
You just have
You just
to,
gotta try to say, like, what this thing has a purpose in my life.
Yeah.
Like,
And
all of our lives are just stories. What if this is, like, the thing that's supposed to teach me, and now
mm-hmm.
it's, like, a turning point?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. View every moment as, like, a learning moment, and then it's never going to be something that is useless. Like, it's never going to be for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's always going to be for something that either taught me that this is good, or taught me that you shouldn't do this, or taught me something. If you're learning, then it's not really bad.
Mm-hmm.
It can be negative, but it can't be just, like, unuseful.
100% bad, yeah.
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 What have you been doing to stay you during this quarantine?
I mean, I guess we've touched on some of it, but, like, really just taking that time for yourself. Like, meditation helps me a lot. Playing guitar, even if it's not good, or singing, even if it's not perfect. Just, like, connecting. Listen to that one song that just reminds you of you and you at your best moment in life. Like, music is so impactful.
And we haven't been getting music.
No.
Like, we haven't.
No.
Because, like, when do you listen to music?
When you're in the car.
Driving to school every morning. Or, like, walking to class.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to music, like, barely.
I've listened to music only, like, when I'm studying or...
Like, writing something.
But definitely not as much as I'm normally listening to music.
Yeah. I feel like I've been doing more art.
Yeah.
Well, also, it's, like, Easter just passed, so it's, like, decorating eggs.
Yeah.
But we've been doing, like, art stuff.
Yeah, we have.
Like, we painted those rocks in my backyard.
We painted rocks. We did eggs. And we painted, like... Paintings. Yeah, I think tuning into your creative self is very important, too, because it connects with who you are. I mean, essentially, creating is only who you are.
Basically.
Like, you can be influenced by other people, but at the end of the day, it's your work that's on the page, or it's your work that's in the music, or it's your work that's in the air if you're singing, or whatever you're doing. It's you put into whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
And I think that's important to keep up with, especially now.
Yeah, I agree. Have you been struggling doing your homework?
Yeah.
Like staying on top of it?
Kind of. I was already in online classes, so I'm used to the format of like, okay, this is due on Thursday, and I have to know that it's due Thursday. But it's harder having all the classes online now, because I only had one before. So that was easy to keep up with, but now
it's like every single
everything.
one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I just don't like it.
It's
like annoying. I'd rather be in class.
Yeah.
I feel like...
See, I don't really enjoy going to class unless it's like a theater class. I don't like going to my gen eds at all.
Really?
Don't like it. I hate going in there and just not knowing anyone and being like...
You don't make friends?
No, not really.
Why don't you make friends on those? It's so easy. Because literally no one else is talking. So if you say hi to someone, they're like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like want to get in, get out. Get in, learn, and get out. Like, I'm at the point where I'm not like trying to make friends. I'm just trying to get in.
And get out.
Learn. And get an A. And leave.
I love going to class. I've only missed one class.
Ever?
All of college.
You're insane.
Only missed one.
You're insane. Well, that's why you're... What do you have, 4.0?
No. I have a 3.95 or something like that. No, but I love going to class. I'm just a nerd. I'm just a nerd. Like, I love learning.
I like that, though, about you. Like,
but I miss it. It's hard to do it, like, digitally for me. I don't know. I like the social interaction. And I like being able to, like...
talk to your teacher when you need to.
Yeah, or just, like, hear their voice.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It's not personal at all.
No, it's very weird.
Unless you're doing, like, a Zoom meeting or something.
And it's, like...
It's very weird if you're...
It's, like, sad. Because, like, they're struggling
to give you the information.
Yeah, well,
and
also
you're
just as a
struggling to give it
person,
back.
like
Yeah.
they're in this quarantine thing
Yeah,
too, so it's like we're
exactly.
all just struggling.
They're
It's
trying
not
to
a
go to
good
the grocery
time.
store.
Yeah, so it's just a weird, it's just a sad. I don't like it. I don't like this online class.
Yeah, I don't know. It is sad, but like I was saying before, like you can either view it as something that's horrible and sad, or you can view it as a way to learn.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad this didn't happen when we were in high school.
Oh, do not know what I would do in high school.
Yeah, I couldn't. I don't think I could have done it at all.
I would just be at home. Like, I would just not know what to do. I'd be, like, at home. And at that point, I didn't really know what I was doing with my life as a whole. Mm-hmm. So...
Yeah, like, especially the seniors graduating this year from high school, it's like...
That's insane.
Like, do we go to college?
I just make TikTok videos all day. Probably.
It's just, like, a sad thing. Like, we don't know what the future's gonna hold.
Yeah.
But that's kind of cool.
I know. I was talking
like, that's scary. And it's sad. But it's also kind of cool because it's like, well, maybe we get to like make it.
Exactly.
Like, we get to create the future.
We get to build it. We get to decide.
Have influence.
What it is.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of you go to work, you do this, you do that, you do this. It's like, okay, wait.
We need to like handle
this. Restart. What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
And how can we like sustain that?
Yeah. And how can we build it up?
I definitely don't think like, I think this is going to like boost like suburbia. Or like...
You don't or you do?
I do.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't know. I feel like there's going to... If it's as bad as some people make it out as, it's going to like affect how...
Cities work?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how are you going to get on the train?
How are you going to even walk down the street without passing 30 people on the way?
Yeah. It's just scary.
It's scary, but also, like, did you like how it was before?
No.
Like, did you like the way the world worked?
No.
Did you like society as a whole?
A little bit. I like some things about it.
But it's still there. But like, you can still include the good things.
That's true.
It's like now...
Something else is going to happen.
Something cool.
I think the biggest thing that happened, like the hardest hit was sports.
Yeah.
Like, are sports ever going to come back? With like live sports?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a while before that comes back.
Yeah. Would you watch, like, snail racing?
No.
But that's a sport.
No.
It'll be a sport.
I want to watch, like, basketball and football. So bad. I miss basketball so much. The playoffs are about to start. They're about to start, man. Next week.
No, they're not.
Rip. It's sad, though. I don't know.
It is. I mean, it is sad. And I think that there should be, like, a mourning time for what was. But I also think there should be a celebration for what's about to come.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or maybe everything will go back to normal.
Or maybe everything will go back. Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows?
It's just, I don't know. I think staying positive for yourself is very important.
For sure.
And I stand by that. I think
and sometimes you have to force it.
Keeping that optimism, even if it's uncertain optimism, like
I don't know, but I'm gonna make it good.
But I'm gonna make the best of it.
Yeah.
That's the key. It's that I'm going to make the best of it.
Like it's only
no
gonna
matter
get better.
what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna learn from it, and it can never be bad.
Right.
And I'll just keep going with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all that I really have to say.
All right.
Do you have to say anything else?
I don't. Do you have anything to say?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm gonna be starting another channel where I talk about more like mental health things and kind of like giving inspiration to guide through this quarantine and things to do, maybe some yoga practices or just exercises to bring yourself through. So keep a lookout for that. It'll probably be here in the next week or two. But yeah, that's it. That's it for this episode.
I like it.
Yeah.
Until next time on
AuraCast.